Okay, here we go again with a new video. So this video I'm doing Negeri 9 trial for Addmaths paper 1 2022. Okay. So Negeri 9 2022 trial Addmaths. Okay, let's skip through the formulas and go to question 1. Okay. Diagram 1 shows the major sector POQ with center O. The radius of circle is 5 cm. So OQ is 5. OP is also 5 because OP is also radius, right? And it says here is 90 degree, but we all know 90 degree, if we convert to radian, is pi over 2. The reason why I mentioned this is because Addmaths likes to ask in radian. So 90 degree is pi over 2. If you are wondering, hey, how I know it's pi over 2, because I just times pi divide 180, because that's how you convert to radian, right? So you cut, you left with pi over 2. Okay, that's how I know. So let's see what they want. Find the perimeter in cm of the whole diagram. So what they want is the perimeter. Perimeter means you have to take all the lines outside and then pass them all together. So what you will take is OP plus with the line OQ. Okay. So OP, OQ, and then PQ. But don't call it PQ, because if you write PQ, you might mistaken for this PQ, because this is also PQ, right? So call it major arc PQ. Major arc PQ. So that you know this PQ line is it's a arc. It's a curved line. It's not a straight line. So PQ is not referring to this. It's referring to the arc. Okay, the outside, the big arc. Okay, OP is 5, OQ is 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. But we need to find the arc for the length of arc PQ, and it's the major arc. And for which formula I will use? I will use this lah. S equals R theta. The first formula you learn in Form 5, Chapter 1, circular measure. So the radius confirm you will put 5, right? Because the radius is 5. And then times with the angle. The angle has to be in radian, but it's not pi over 2, because the arc I'm finding is here, right? So the angle I have to take from here also. So what is the angle here? So we all know this is 90 degrees. So 90 degrees is 270, right? If you take 360 minus 90 is 270. But 270 have to change to radian. So what I will do is I will write, let's erase this, 270. Okay, let's just do it like this lah. Okay, so 270 times with pi over 180, but they already say pi in terms of pi. So I don't think I will use 3.142. I'll just keep the pi here, and then I can simplify, right? Cut the 0, divide by 9 is 2, 27 divided by 9 is 3. So it's 3 over 2 pi radian. And then here I'll write 3 over 2 pi. Okay, so now they say find perimeter in terms of pi. So the answer has to have pi. So I won't tekan, I will just uh, do the 5 times 3 over 2, which is 15 over 2 pi. And then, yeah, that's the answer, CM. Don't tekan the pi, because the soalan says in terms of pi. So the pi, just leave it there. Number 2, this is a linear law question, and in linear law question, always look at the axis. Okay, diagram 2 shows a straight line graph, y squared minus x squared against x. So always check the axis. The y-axis is y squared minus x squared, and then the x-axis is x. And look carefully, this is a straight line. It's a straight line. It's a linear graph. And then express y in terms of x. So usually when we do linear law question, we will take the equation yang soalan bagi and change to linear form. But this type of soalan, they never give you equation. They ask you to find equation. It means I have to form myself. It means I have to start with this. Big Y equals to M big X plus C. And I already know what my big Y. What's my big Y? Because my big Y will be this. Y squared minus X squared. That's my Y axis. And I also know my big X will be X. What I need now is the gradient M and the CY intercept. Okay, so let's find it now. How to find gradient? Well, this is a straight line, so I can straight away find the gradient of the linear graph just by taking x. But you have to be careful because this 3 is not the y coordinate. It's the y square minus x square. Because if you read here, the y-axis is y square minus x square. It means when you ganti the 3, you will ganti into the big Y. You faham maksud saya? It means yeah, okay. So when you find the gradient, it will be negative 3 minus 3, because this is y minus y, bahagi x minus x, 2 minus 1. So you will end up with negative 6 over 1, and then the gradient will be negative 6. So when you ganti, it will be y equals to negative 6 x plus c. C is the y-intercept, but they never give, right? It's okay, we can pass us through at any of these points. Let's pass us through 1, 3. And I explain again, this 1 is big X, this 3 is big Y. So you don't have to worry about the y square minus x square because because the y-axis is already y square minus x square, right? So it's okay. You don't have to be confused. Just ganti into big X, big Y, then you won't salah already. Okay. Some student they will ganti like this, they will, when they ganti the y, they will be like 3 square minus 1 square. That is why I try to write. I always change the big Y and big X. Last kali baru I change to the axis. Okay, because if I write like this, y square minus x square equals to negative 6x plus c. Some of you will go and ganti like this: 3 square minus 1 square, negative 6, 1 plus c. And this is wrong already. This is wrong already because the 3 is not like this. The 3 is for the whole thing already. This whole thing is 3 already. It's not like you don't have to do 3 square minus 1 square already. It's the whole thing is 3 already. Okay, so just be careful on that lah. So let me erase this. So remember, the 3 is automatic. Just substitute inside the big Y, and then the negative 6 big X is 1 plus C like this, and then the C is 9. Then the answer comes out already lah. Big okay. So it's big Y equals to negative 6x plus 9. But of course, the soalan asks for small y in terms of small x. So now you will change. Now only you change the axis. So the y-axis is y square minus x square. So the big Y you will replace with y square minus x square. This time is small y, small x. And then negative 6, what's the x-axis? Let's check. It's x-axis. So just write x and then plus 9. And then now I just have to pindah so that it's y in terms of x. So how to pindah? I will pindah the negative x square to the other side. So it becomes positive x square minus 6x plus 9. And then pindah the square, becomes square root, right? So it becomes square root x square minus 6x plus 9. So that's the answer. Wait, can you simplify this? I think can, right? Because the x square minus 6x plus 9 can simplify. How you simplify? You can use calculator. You will get x minus 3, x minus 3. Let me explain. X square minus 6x plus 9, you can simplify by using calculator. You will tekan mode and then degree 2, and then you will end up with one answer, which is x equals to 3. But if they give you one answer, means what? It means there's actually two answers. It's just that two repeated roots lah, two same roots, two equal roots. So this will be x minus 3, x minus 3. And of course, if you still suspicious, you can try to expand this bracket. You will really get back this one. If you try to expand balik, if you try to darab masuk. So yep. So we can say that this is actually x minus 3 square lah, because x minus 3 darab dia sendiri, right? And we all know square root and square can cancel each other. So I will just left with y equals x minus 3. So that is the answer for question 2. All right. Let's go to question number 3. So number 3 says what? Aini has a wire with the length of W meter. So the total wire length is W meter. And then Aini divided the wire into several pieces. So the wire she cut into different pieces. Each piece is to form a square. So the first piece of the wire he fold like this into a square. And then the second piece he fold like that. So diagram 3 shows the first 3 squares formed by Aini. So the first 3 squares look like this. So they mentioned square already, so we should know this is P, this is P, this is P. So this one would be P plus Q, P plus Q, P plus Q, P plus 2Q, and so on. Okay. But if you look carefully, this is W meter, So we can say that the SN means the sum of the S. Okay, we can't say that, right? Because I think can, right? I think if we form a progression using the perimeter, then we can say that the SN is equals to W meter lah, right? W meter, okay? Because the length of wire is W meter, right? But it's fine. Anyways, we go to soalan A first. State whether the perimeter of square is an arithmetic progression or a geometric progression. Justify your answer. So they want you to form a progression using the perimeter. Not the length, not the area, but perimeter. So what's the perimeter of first square? It will be P times 4 lah. And then the next square will be P plus Q times 4. Okay, but let's not write like this. Let's change the way I write. Let's write like this. 4 times P, and then 4 bracket P plus Q, and then 4 bracket P plus 2Q, right? Because square, all the length is same one. So if you want to find perimeter, you just times 4. So what you get here, you will end up with 4P. You will end up with 4P plus 4Q, and you will end up with 4P plus 8Q. And if you read the soalan, they ask you to state whether this one is arithmetic or geometric. So how to show that they're arithmetic or geometric? Actually, they like to ask this in trial. Let me show you. This reminds me of the Kelantan paper, I think. So I'll show you quickly. So where is the Kelantan paper? Okay, not this question. Uh, okay, this one. And this is also one of the trial at Maths, but it's for Kelantan trial. And I already make this video. If you want to check it out, you can go watch. So look at this. A, show that the area of rectangle form a geometric progression and state the common ratio. So how I do it? I write down the area for every rectangle, and then I try to see the T2 divide T1 and T3 divide T2. See they give me same value. If they give me the same value, then I say the area of rectangle form a GP. All right. So but this is different. This is different. The one I'm doing is different because this one they ask to state whether it's AP or GP, right? And we all know this is arithmetic. This is AP. This is not GP. So you shouldn't divide. Just now you divide, but that one is because you is geometric. That's why you take T3 divide T2 equals T2 divide T1. But if it's an arithmetic, then it will be T3 minus T2 equals to T2 minus T1 if it's arithmetic. And if you look, this is arithmetic. Let's try to take T2 minus T1, 4P plus 4Q minus 4P. You can see that 4P and 4P cut, you left with 4Q. And then try to take T3 minus T2. You will also end up with 4Q. 4P plus 8Q minus, have to open bracket. Other bracket, salah. And then you will check and see whether they give you same value. 4P plus 8Q. You can expand this. So it will be negative 4P. Expand this, it will be negative 4Q. Cut 8P minus 4Q is positive 4Q. Can you see this value and this value same, right? So I can write what? Since T3 minus T2 is same as give you the same value as T2 minus T1, we can conclude that the perimeter of what? Triangle, what square, right? Perimeter of the square form form an arithmetic progression. Okay, but if you look at the Kelantan paper, it's a geometric. That's why the booking is a little bit different. I do T3 divide T2, T2 divide T1. Okay, but it's still useful to know both lah. Okay, because it comes out quite often in the trial. So that's why I'm mentioning it now. So let's erase this and then we go to question B. So B says what? If Aini managed to form exactly 10 squares, so there's 10 squares. It means there will be 10 terms lah. Right? You keep going, there will be 10 terms. Express W in terms of P and Q. Okay, we all know the P and Q comes from the, comes from here, comes from the length of the square. But the W is where? Okay, you have to scroll up a bit for the W. Remember this? W is the total length of all the wires. So now we already know there's 10 terms. So what I can do is find the S10. Okay, find the S10. So we know the first term, so for question B, the first term is 4P, the second one is 4P plus 4Q. I'm copying from the here, by the way. And then 4P plus 8Q and keeps going until the 10th term, because it can form 10 squares. So we can find the S10. The A is 4P, the D is 4Q. Okay, so we can find the S10, and the formula for Sn in arithmetic is n over 2 big bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. So what I do is I will put 10 over 2 big bracket 2a, which is 4p plus n minus 1. 10 minus 1 is 9. D is this one. And by the way, this formula got give in exam. But I still recommend memorizing it. 10 divided 2 is 5. 2 times 4, 8p. 9 times 4, 36q. And then you will end up with 40p plus 180q, right? But remember they say what? Express W in terms of P and Q. W is what? W is the total length of wire in meter, So if the total length can only form 10 squares, it means the W must equals to 40P plus 180Q, right? But be careful because this is in centimeters. Centimeter, but the W is in meter. It means I have to take this one and divide 100, Okay, so W will be what? 40P divide 100 plus 180Q also I have to divide 100. So I will end up with something here. Let's see. Cut 2 over 5P. And then cut what you get here? 9 over 5, right? Because divide 2. So I will get 9 over 5Q. So we can say that it's 2P plus 9Q over 5. Okay. So that's how you do this question. Okay, let's go to number 4. Okay, so this is a differentiation question. It is given that the equation of curve is what? fx equals to x squared bracket 2x plus 1 power 3, and its gradient function. Remember this word, very important. Gradient function is what? Is the dy dx. If they say gradient function is this one, it means this whole thing is the dy dx. Okay. And then they say find the value of P and Q. Okay, first of all, I will ignore whatever they write here. This one I will jangan tengok dulu. I will start from here. And then what I will do is I will do my own differentiation. I will differentiate this equation. And then after I differentiate, done already, then only I will compare my answer with the answer here. Okay, with the answer here. So how can I differentiate this? Okay, cannot do like this. You cannot take power times number and then you get 3x squared, 2x plus 1 power 2. Wrong. If you do like this, it's wrong. Okay. You can only do like this when what? When depan tak ada x, right? Do you remember I told you before, right? You can only do like this when depan tak ada x. Okay. So if depan sudah ada x, means you cannot take 3 times x squared terus already. You have to use the UV method actually for this. For this to work, you have to use the UV method. There's no other way. So which UV method you will use? Salin U differentiate V tambah salin V differentiate U. This one. Okay, this is the one you use. Oh, and by the way, we will not write d by dx here. We will write f prime x here. Okay. Actually, it's like this. If it's the equation is y, and when we differentiate, we will write d by dx. Okay. But if it's fx, we will just write f prime x. Not f inverse x. This is not inverse. Inverse is -1. This one is different. This is not a function. This is differentiation. So f prime x is like a comma like that. It's like a apostrophe. Okay, so how to differentiate? Salin u differentiate v tambah salin v differentiate u. So salin u means salin u. Okay, u is x squared. Differentiate v sahaja. So differentiate v, what you get? The 3 I can put in front, and then 2x plus 1 power minus 1 is 2, and then don't forget to differentiate inside bracket sekali lagi. Differentiate 2x is 2, differentiate 1 is 0. Plus salin v differentiate u now. Okay, salin v 2x plus 1 power 3, and then differentiate u. Differentiate u, differentiate x square, you end up with 2x. Now, number dengan number boleh buat. Because these are all yang ada satu term. So the one yang ada satu term, I do it together. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times x squared is 6x squared. And then the 2x plus 1 power 2, I'll just leave it. Plus the 2x, I will write in front here, and then bracket 2x plus 1 power 3. But don't stop here because you can factorize. Look at this. 6x squared and 2x, they have something in common. 6 and 2, I know they are both, I can take out 2 from both of them. It means these both number can divide by 2. And also x squared and x, I can factorize out x. What about this? 2x plus 1 power 2 and 2x plus 1 power 3. Can I factorize? Yes, I can take out 2x plus 1 power 2, right? And then now I will open a big bracket and then I'll write the balance inside here. So what is the balance? 6x squared when I take out 2x, left with 3. And then the x squared, I take out x, left with x, right? And then keep going. 2x plus 1 power 2, I already removed the 2x plus 1 power 2. So left, nothing left. It means left with 1. But the 1 I don't have to write. Okay. So followed by plus. So I'll plus 2x, I take out 2x. So nothing left. Actually, left with 1, but the 1 I need to write. And then next is the 2x plus 1 power 3. I remove 2x plus 1 power 2. Means I factorize, I divide. I divide. So I'm left with 2x plus 1 power 1. Because originally is power 3, I take out power 2, so left with power 1. And now what you have to do is solve whatever inside the bracket. So it'll be 2x, and then 2x plus 1 power 2. 3x plus 2x is 5x, so 5x plus 1. So that's the final answer. But if I am you, I will write like this. 2x, I will write the 5x plus 1 first, and then I only write 2x plus 1 power 2. Why? Because the soalan asked me to find the value of P and Q, and I already tell you my plan. My plan was to differentiate myself and compare to this. So if you look at the one I'm comparing, they write Px, which is 2x, and then they write Qx plus 1 dulu, then only they write 2x plus 1 power 2. That is why I choose to write it in the same way they write it, so that I can compare easier later. So now I can start in this down here. Px bracket Qx plus 1, and then bracket 2x plus 1 power 2. And now I can compare. How to compare? P is equals, so I can cut, right? 2x plus 1 power 2, 2x plus 1 power 2. Okay. And then x and x. So left with P is equals to 2 lah. And then this one is Qx plus 1, and this one is 5 plus 1, so Q is equals to 5. Okay. Oh, and one more thing, I recommend don't cut it. Just don't cut it. In exam, try not to cut it. Just leave it like this. So P is 2, Q is 5. All right. Okay, I think I can continue with question 5. Find the roots of quadratic equation x squared minus kx plus 4. Okay, for this question, I will do it here. I will use the space up here. Okay, I'll use the space up here to do. So number 5a. So what? Let's read again. Find the roots of this equation. So let's write down x squared minus kx plus 4 equals 0. Find roots means find the x. Find the x. In terms of k, okay, I cannot press my calculator because usually when we find roots, we press calculator, right? We just press calculator and then I get my roots x1 something, x2 something. But for this question, I can't do that because why cannot? Because my equation is not complete, right? If you look carefully, you don't know your b. That's why you cannot press the calculator. So what you have to do is you don't use the factorization method lah. You use the quadratic formula. X equals to negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, that because if you use this way to factorize, then you can get your roots in terms of k. So what you do is negative b, the b will be negative k lah, plus minus square root b square minus 4ac, and then b will be negative k, and then a also a will be 1, c will be 4, and then 2a, a is 1. So can you see it's already in terms of k? 2 times 1 is 2, negative negative is just k plus minus square root k, negative k square is positive k square, 4 times 4 is 16 with a negative. So yeah, that's the answer, right? That's how you do it. So hope you understand. Okay, what about question B? Let's scroll down. Okay, question B. Okay, this question actually comes out in the other trial also. I think it's Malacca trial. I forgot Malacca or Kelantan, but it's okay. Later I'll show you. Diagram 4 shows the graph of two quadratic function, fx and gx. So we can see this is gx, this is fx. But if you look carefully, fx is written in general form. In general form. But the gx is written in vertex form. Okay. So in vertex form, usually we can see the turning point. So negative 3 take out is 3 and then 1. And they even write it for me already. Okay, now 1 says what? State the range of A in terms of P. I'm assuming is this A, right? Yeah, this A. There's only one A in the question. So soalan number 1, state the range of A. Okay, first of all, we know A must be bigger than 0. It's very clear because this is a U-shaped curve. So it means A cannot be negative, right? But at the same time, A must be smaller than P. Do you know why? Because look at this, there is two curve, but I want you to observe the one thing. You can see that the fx curve, the outside one, it's wider than the inside curve, right? So if it's wider, okay, let's talk about this. If a is bigger than 0, okay, if a is bigger than 0, and we have two curve like this, the a, and this is a1 and the a2, you need to know that if your a is smaller, the width gets bigger. It means for this case, the A2 will be smaller than A1. They are both positive lah. They are both positive because they are both U-shaped. But the A2 curve is wider, right? The A2 punya, the width lah, the width is wider. That is why the A2 will be smaller than A1. Okay. But what if it's A smaller than 0 punya case? It means it's N-shaped. Okay, if like this punya case, then let's say this is A1, the outside one is A1, the inside one is A2. Then it will be, if the A is bigger, then only the width is bigger. It's the valid one with this. So it means which one has the bigger width? Which one is wider? A1 is wider, right? Then the A1 is bigger than A2. Or you can also say A2 is less than A1 lah. Okay. So that's how you differentiate. So let's come back here. This fx curve obviously is wider and it's a U-shaped punya case. So for U-shaped punya case, you need to hafal. If the A is smaller, then it's wider. So the fx punya A value must be smaller than gx punya A. And we all know gx punya A value is P. Walaupun it's written in vertex form, but we all know, right? Vertex form is like this, ax plus p squared plus q. And this is the curve punya A. So that's why the fx punya A have to be bigger than 0 because it's U-shaped, but smaller than P because it's wider than the gx curve. So we can conclude that the A must be in between 0 and P. Usually put a small number here and then put a big number here. So in between 0 and P, that's how you do it. Okay. All right, let's continue with question number 2. But before that, I will erase all this. Okay. So hopefully you understand this. This is very important. It's important to know all these things. Okay. But for now, I'll erase all those things. Let's go to question 2. Write the new quadratic equation of gx if the graph of gx move 5 units to the left. Okay, this question is comes out in the other trial also. Let me show you. I think it's okay. It's not Malacca. Yeah, it's Kelantan. Question. Let's see. Yeah, I found it. Question 13. Okay, and I made this video already. So let's look at question 13. Let's forget about the Negeri 9 paper and look at this question first. So look at this. Sketch the graph of quadratic. This one. hence form a quadratic equation if the graph shifted 3 units to the right. So what happens when this equation shifted 3 units to the right? The 2 will not change, the A will not change, and the 3 also will not change. Only the axis of symmetry will change. It means the 2 will change. How it will change is you will take 2 plus 3, and then you will get, move to the right. So wait, let me think. Okay, sorry. If because x plus 2 square, right, means the axis of symmetry is x equals -2, right? So what is the new axis of symmetry? It will be -2 plus 3 because you are moved to the right. So it will be x equals 1. That is why you look at the answer. The 2 stay the same. The 2 stay the same, and then x plus 2 square change to x minus 1 already because the new axis of symmetry is x equals 1, right? And then we have to change sign, jadi -1, and then the 3 stay the same. Okay, so that's how you do it. But if you want the full explanation, you can go and watch this video. Okay, this is Kelantan punya trial 2022, and I already uploaded. But for now, I don't want to explain that again. I want to do the Negeri-Sembilan one. So now let's do the Negeri-Sembilan. Write new quadratic function for gx. So if you look at gx, the old equation is p bracket x minus 3 squared plus 1. This is the old equation. But they say if the graph of gx move 5 units to the left. So what happens here? What happens here? Will the p will stay as p, okay? And then the 1 also stay the 1, but the -3 will change to something else. Let me explain further why is it like that. Because the A will tell us the shape, okay? The shape ataupun the width, like how wide is the curve. And P will tell us the what? The x coordinate of the turning point and also the axis of symmetry, okay? And then Q will tell me the y coordinate of the turning point or the minimum value, okay? The minimum value ataupun sometimes it's maximum value, but for this case it's minimum value. So let me ask you one thing. If I shift the curve 5 units to the left, it means it will be like something like this lah. Like because it moved to the left already, right? So will the shape change or the width? It won't change. It won't change because the shape is still the same. The width is still the same. That is why the P never change. And let me ask you again, will the minimum value change? Will the y coordinate of the turning point change? The answer is no, because the y coordinate will still be 1 actually, because this point will just shift towards here, right? But the x coordinate will change lah, because the x coordinate is 3, right? But of course, I have to take 3 minus 5 because I move 5 already, so it'll be -2 because 3 minus 5 is -2. That is why here I have to write +2. Okay, why +2? Because so that when I take out and I took out under, it will be -2. So this is the answer, right? Okay, I know I spent a long time talk about this question, but it's important. It's important for you to understand this concept. Okay, so hopefully you understand lah. Okay, let's go to C question. C question says what? Given that the straight line y equals mn intersect the curve blah 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 at 2 different points, find the range of values of m. This is a straight line equation. This is a curve equation, and they say they intersect at 2 points. So whenever you see 2 points, means you will do b squared minus 4ac bigger than 0. But you can't just take this equation and then do b squared minus 4ac bigger 0. You cannot do that because if you do like this, you are ignoring this straight line. Okay, so what you have to do first, you have to do simultaneous first. Remember, if in exam, if you see the soalan gives you one equation of straight line and then another equation, you will, like most of the time, I can say 99% lah, 90% of the time, you will combine these two equations first. Means you will do simultaneous first. Okay, doesn't matter whether they touch 2 points or touch 1 point or does not touch. You will always start by doing simultaneous. Means combining these two equations first. So let's do that. So x squared minus 3x plus m equals to mx minus 3. Okay, I use the substitution way to do it. And then x squared, let's change to general form. Minus 3x minus mx plus m, that one is the c. I will write belakang minus 3 jadi plus 3 equals 0. And then still not general form yet because there's 2x. So what I can do, I can factorize out the x, left with -3 minus m. And then now it will be plus m plus 3. So now this is a general form. The A is 1, the B is -3 minus m, the C is m plus 3. Now only I will do the b squared minus 4ac bigger than 0. But let's change the soalan. What if they say touches, does not touch? I say the straight line does not intersect the curve. And then find range of values of m. How will you do it? Same lah. You will also do like this. Same. But you will write b squared minus 4ac smaller than 0. It means doesn't matter whether they say the touch 2 points or touch 1 point or does not touch, you will always do simultaneous first. If they give you 2 equations, you have to do simultaneous first. Then only you will do b squared minus 4ac bigger than 0 ataupun smaller than 0 ataupun equal 0 depending on the situation lah. But for this situation, it's 2 different points. That's why it's bigger 0. Now let's put in b is -3 minus m squared. The a is 1. The c is m plus 3. the whole thing. You have to take the whole thing, m plus 3. So that's how you do it. So how to expand this? First, you will take depan square, negative 3 square is positive 9. Depan darab, belakang darab 2. So we all know negative 3 times negative m is positive 3m times 2, 6m. And then belakang square is just plus m square. Negative 4 times 1 is useless because negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. So we can skip over, go belakang terus. Negative 4 times m is negative 4m. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, bigger than 0. Now we end up with a quadratic. So let's susun nicely. Everything on one side equals 0. So m square plus 6m minus 4m is plus 2m. 9 minus 12 is negative 3, bigger than 0. This is a quadratic inequality. Why I call it quadratic inequality? Because you see power 2, so it's a quadratic. And why I call it inequality? Because there's a bigger, smaller sign. It means later you have to sketch. You have to locate. You have to locate later. But before you locate, let's get the value of m first. So what you do is m, and then you press the calculator lah. So where's my calculator? Wait, Okay, so I'm back with the calculator. So what I will do is I'll press mode degree 2. So degree 2, the A is 1, the B is 2, the C is negative 3, and then I will get 1 and negative 3. So that's the roots, 1 and negative 3. So I will write m equals 1 and then comma m equals negative 3. But you have to tukar tanda, right? So f positive 1 and m minus 1, m negative 3, m plus 3 like this. But you can't just change. Some students, they thought if this is bigger, then I can just write bigger like this. Cannot, cannot. You cannot do that. Because if the soalan says find the range of values of m, means your answer will definitely have one of these symbol. Will have this symbol one if they say find range. But you can't just change this to bigger because this is bigger, cannot. I already mentioned if quadratic inequality, the correct way is you have to, after you find the roots, you have to draw. And then you will draw a curve like this, and then you will write down the roots here. Since it's 1 and negative 3, which one is the smaller number? Negative 3. So obviously the smaller number you have to put in front, and then the big number you put here. And you kena lorate. And where you want to lorate is you tengok lah. Kalau dia bracket bigger 0, you will lorate at the telinga here. But if it's bracket smaller 0, then you will lorate either here. But for this case, you will lorate just like this. If you lorate the telinga, the way you write is like this: m smaller negative 3 or m bigger than 1. So this is your answer. Okay. But if you lorate in the middle, then you will write m in between negative 3, 1. But I will erase this because this is not, this is bigger, right? So that's how you do it. So remember, you can't just change this to bigger. Salah tu. All right. So that's how you do this question. So I'm done. Let's go to question number 6. Diagram 5 shows the cross section of 3 cylindrical container. So each of radius 3 cm. So we can say this circle radius is 3, this circle's radius is 3, this circle's radius is 3. And then held together by a stretched elastic band. Use pi equals to 3.142. Okay, so this 3-cylinder circle is hold together with a elastic band. It's like a rubber band, so that it keeps them in place, so that it doesn't move. And then they say find the shaded area. Okay, how to do? Let's think about this. Shaded area is the middle part, right? But the middle part looks like this. It's like a underwear. So it looks like a okay, underwear. So how can I find this thing? I don't think I can find it directly. I have to take something minus something, ataupun something plus something, right? I cannot find it directly. So why not we change the way we draw the line? Because we know the radius is 3 cm, right? It means from the center, instead of tarik here, why not I tarik here, right? Because we need to know something. This circle and this circle, they are put together by an elastic band. So we can conclude that this is actually a tangent. This line is actually tangent with the is a tangent. There's a tangent point here and there's a tangent here. Okay, and we should know that center tarik tangent is 90 degree, right? And then same with here lah. Okay, there's a tangent point here, there's a tangent point here. This is tangent point. And also one more thing is the circle and this circle will also touch at one point here. It means that this is 3, and then I can just keep drawing the straight line. This will be also 3. Same with here, 3, same with here, 3, and then same with here, 3, and then same with here, 3. Right? It means you will get a triangle that looks like this: 6, 6, 6, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees. Why is it 60? Because one triangle inside the total is 180. When it's an equilateral, you divide by 3, you get 60 degree, right? And now if I want to find the shaded region, I think it's possible. You just take, okay, so shaded area. I think you will take the area of triangle first. Okay, area of triangle first. I think I will use the 1/2 AB sine C formula. which we learned from the solution of triangle chapter, right? So 6, and then the included angle is 60, minus with this part, and this part, right? Because I only want this small area, so I will minus with area of sector. So area of sector, but we all know these three area of sector, they are same size. So if they are same size, means I can times 3. Okay, and in order to find area of sector, I have to use the 1/2 r squared theta formula. Means I need the radius and the angle. But the radius is 3. The radius is 3, you can see it, and the theta is 60 degree. But of course, you have to convert to radian, because for this formula, you need to make sure the angle is in radian. So what I will do is, later the 60 I have to convert to radian. And how to do that? Times pi divided 180. Okay, now we have all the information we need. We can start to do it already. 1/2 AB sine C formula. The A is 6, the B is 6, or you want to write 6 square also can, sine 60. This one only convert radian, because this one got triangle in front, right? So just 60. And then 3 times with 1/2 r squared theta. This one has to be in radian, the theta. So the radius is 3. The radius is 3. And then the angle has to be 60 times with what? Times with pi divided 180. Did they mention pi used what? Yes, 3.142. So let's just follow 60 times 3.142 divided 180. And I believe if you press everything, you will get the answer. Let's press this first. 6 times 6 is 36. Divide 2, which is 18, times with sine 60. So I end up with 15.5885. 15.5885 minus, what about this? I will press this one first. Okay, I'll press this one first. So 60 times 3.142 divide 180, and then baru I tekan answer times 3 square, which is 9. So times 9 divide 2, and then times 3. So now I get 14.139. And then now I will press 15.5885 minus answer. So I get 1.4495. 1.4495 centimeters. All right. So that's how you do it. Okay, that's all. Let's look at B. B says what? Find the stretch length of the band. So what they ask is the length of the rubber band lah. But if you look at the length of rubber band, it's here, 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 right? So how to find the length of that? Okay, let's think about this. Do you remember I mentioned just now this band touches this circle at one point? It means there will be a tangent point, and we all know if there's tangent point means center tarik tangent 90 degree. Center tarik tangent 90 degree. This is also 90. When I tarik here also it will be 90 degree, because this is also tangent point, right? Center tarik tangent 90 degree. So we can assume it's a 90 degree. Why we can assume it's 90 degree? Because these are all tangent point. That's why we can do that. So how can I? So it means that I know the length of this line, right? The length of this will be 6, because 3 plus 3, right? Because it will form a, how to say, a rectangle, right? So 6 here is also 6, here is also 6. So the length of the band will be what? So length of band will be 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is 6 times 3. But it's not over yet. You have to plus with what? You still have to plus with this arc, and this arc. But we all know they are same size, right? So we will just do 3 times with the r theta formula. Okay, but of course we have to know the r and the theta. But how to find the length of arc here? So we will use s equals r theta. We already know the r is 3, right? Because the radius is 3. But the theta, I don't think we can use 60, because the theta is here. The theta is here. So how to get this value? Okay, we know this is 90. This is 90, because I already say this will form a rectangle. So rectangle, all the side is 90, all the angle is 91, and we already know this is 60 just now. Do you remember? The triangle here is 60, 60, 60, right? So if you want to get this angle, what we will do is I will take 360 minus 90 dua kali, and then minus 60. So 360 minus 90 minus 90 minus 60, because this is 90, this is 90, and then this is 60. So to get this, I will press this. So let's press now. This one. Okay, I get 120. Okay, 120. So now I know the angle here is 120. But 120 have to convert to radian, right? Which is times pi over 180. But let's write it down in the answer space. So let's put in. So 6 times 3, which is here, here, and here only. But I still have to plus with the length of arc, which is r theta formula. The r is 3, and then the theta will be 120. But 120 have to times with pi. But the pi, they say use 3.142. So let's follow them. So times with 3.142, divide 180. And then I will close the big bracket, but don't forget to times 3 again, because there's 1, 2, 3, and this 3 same size, that's why you can times 3. So I think I can solve it here. So now the answer will be 6 times 3 is 18 plus 3 times 3 is 9, right? But I've tekan yang belakang dulu. What is 120 times 3.142 divided 180? I get 2.095, but I will just use the answer button times 3 times 3. So answer times 3 times 3 ataupun answer times 9, I will get 18.852. And then I will plus 18, 36.852 cm. Okay. Of course, you can write 36.85 also. But since it's like only one number only, right? It's only like in the calculator, there's only one more digit. So I will just place saja lah. Okay. But you can round off 4 significant figures also can. But usually the more if you write more, it's much more, it's safer lah. Okay. All right. So that's how you do it. Number 7. Okay, let's go to number 7. Diagram 6 shows a unit vector u in the direction of P to Q. So the arrow is pointing towards Q, and then they show us one kotak, the ke kanan is I, one kotak ke atas is J, and they say find unit vector. So what's the formula for unit vector? 1 over magnitude times with the vector, right? That's how you do it. If you don't know this, you have to memorize. Unit vector formula is 1 over magnitude darab dengan vector. So first, I need to have the vector first. Do I know the vector u? Yeah, I don't know yet, but I can find. And I need in terms of ij. Remember, for unit vector magnitude, you need the vector in ij first. So how many I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's not 5, it's negative 5i because it's to the left. And then how many j? 1, 2, and it's positive. Why positive? Because ke atas. So ke atas is like this. So this is the vector u. But I still need the magnitude. So magnitude of u equals to square root, bracket square, bracket square. And for this, you can masuk number terus, negative 5 and 2. So you will get 25 plus 4, which is 29. And I don't think you can simplify this further. So this is the magnitude in the simplest form. Now for the unit vector, so this is the symbol for unit vector, by the way. That's like a topi. So 1 over magnitude darab dengan vector. The magnitude I already know is square root 29. The vector in terms of ij is negative 5i plus 2j. So that's the answer. If you want to expand, can also negative 5 over square root 29i plus 2 over square root 29j. Right? So that's how you do it. So that's the answer lah. Okay, let's go to question number 2. I think I'll do it here. Okay. Ayo. What happened? Okay. Sorry. Okay, number 2. State the maximum number of unit vector that would fit inside the line PQ. Okay, the answer will be square root 29. Because they're asking how many unit vector can fit inside the line PQ. It means how many unit vector can fit inside this? Okay, the answer is square root 29, but I don't want to, how to say? If I explain like this, maybe some of you can understand only. So I want to explain using the other way. So I will explain using the working. I will show you the working. State the maximum number of unit vector that will fit inside line. Even though it's 1 marks, you don't have to show the working, but I will explain using working. So what they are asking is how many unit vector can fit inside PQ. So we all know vector PQ is what? Is negative 5i plus 2j. And what they are asking now is how many this unit vector have to times berapa baru boleh can fit inside this. It means I will write down the unit vector, which is negative 5 over square root 29i plus with 2 over square root 29j equals to negative 5i plus 2j. But I will write bracket, I will times with lambda. Let me tell you why. Because they ask state the maximum number of unit vector that will fit inside line PQ. Means how many times did unit vector? Maybe 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. I don't know. That's why I call it lambda. Can fit. Then only equals to this. That's how I would do it. Okay. And now what I will do is I will darab masuk. So I will end up with negative 5 over square root 29 lambda I plus 2 over square root 29 lambda j equals to negative 5i plus 2j. And now I will compare. Means I will take the I coefficient equals to I coefficient. So negative 5 over square root 29 lambda. Don't take the I, and then equals to negative 5. The negative I can cancel, become positive. I'll just left with lambda equals to 5. Divide square root 29 jadi darab square root 29. Times 5 jadi divide 5. So cut, you left with square root 29. It means 20, square root 29 times with the unit vector will fit inside the vector PQ. All right. You don't have to compare this and this already because you will end up with the same answer. But if you want to do, you can do that, but I won't do it. So what is the maximum number of unit vector? It will be square root 29. So let's press square root 29. See what I get. Okay, if I press square root 29, it's 5.385, right? So it's 5.385. So we can say that the maximum number is 5. Okay, it's 5. Because it's 5.385, right? It means the maximum number is 5. Okay, cannot take 6 lah, because we can only fit 5.385. Means if it's 6 means it's more than this already. So the maximum number of unit vector that we can fit inside here is square root 29, which is approximately 5. Okay, so hope you understand. Actually, you don't have to show this working one because it's only 1 mark. You can straight away write 5, but I show it to you lah, so you understand better. Okay, okay, soalan B. Given vector A, blah, 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 vector B, blah, 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 but they give you in terms of ij, and then they say jh is 2a plus b, and then they say magnitude of jh is equals to 2 times the magnitude of kl, and kl is the opposite direction of jh. Find vector kl. If we want to find vector kl in terms of ij, we need to get vector jh in terms of ij first, because they mention KL is in the opposite direction. It means after I get my vector JH, I just tukar tanda, then I will get my vector KL. But let's get my JH first. How to get my JH? They say it's 2a plus b. I don't want in terms of AB. I want in terms of ij. So I can ganti with 3i. A, I can ganti with 3i minus 4j. And then B, I can ganti with negative 2i plus j. So now I will end up with 6i minus 2i, which is 4i, negative 8j plus 1, which is negative 7j. But this is vector JH. I want vector KL. So vector KL would be what? Opposite direction, right? So the tukar tanda lah. 4i become negative 4i, minus 7 become plus 7j. But wait, there is one information that we never look at it yet, which is this one. Magnitude of JH is equals to 2 times the magnitude of KL. Maksudnya apa? Vector JH and vector KL, they are opposite direction, but the panjang tak sama. JH is lebih panjang because JH punya panjang, magnitude means panjang lah, okay? So the JH punya panjang is actually 2 times with the panjang KL. Maksudnya, if you want to get KL punya panjang, I need to divide 2, alright? Because JH is 2 times, the magnitude is 2 times lebih panjang. That's why you have to divide 2. Means you will end up with negative 4 divided 2, which is negative 2i plus 7 over 2j, right? That's how you do it. That's the correct answer. Okay, so hope you understand. Let's move on to question number 8. Diagram 7 shows the position of 3 players in the same team in the video game Valorant. I think this is Valorant lah. They changed a bit. Okay, so yeah, okay, Valorant game. 3 players in the same team. The initial position for every player is A, B, and C. So triangle. The initial position. Wait, what? The initial position of every player is this one, this one, this one. Okay, let's read A first. The initial position of 3 players form a triangle. Okay, yeah, so they form a triangle. So the triangle look like this. Let's go it. Okay, like this. And then it says that find the value of Q if the area of triangle form is 36. So the area is 36, means the area here is 36. So find the value of Q. So possible lah. You just, this is coordinate geometry punya soalan. So you know the area is 36 already. So what formula you will use? You will not use the 1 over 2 times base times height formula. This is coordinate geometry. You should use the 1 over 2 modulus, and then you put in all the coordinate inside. I will start with A, 1, 6. Actually, you can start with anything you want. But I will start with A and then go with 8Q, and then go with point C, which is 3, negative 4. And before you close the modulus, repeat the first one. 1, 6 equals to 36. And then now I'll write 1 over 2 modulus, and then I will cross multiply. Always start from first row, first column. 1 times Q, Q, plus 8 times negative 4, negative 32, plus 3 times 6, 18, minus. Why minus? Because I changed direction. 6 times 8, 48. Minus lagi Q times 3, 3Q. Minus lagi negative 4 times 1, negative 4. So just open bracket equals to 36. So now it'll be 1 over 2 mod. Okay, just pindah the 1 over 2 to the other side lah. Because I already know 1 over 2 pindah jadi times 2. And what is 36 times 2? 72. And then you left with a modulus something inside here. So Q dengan Q boleh buat. So Q minus 3Q is negative 2Q. And then the number here I can pass in my calculator. What is negative 32 plus 18 minus 48 plus 4? Let's check. Negative 32 plus 18 minus 48 plus 4. So I get negative 58. Right? And then the 1/2, I told you already, I already pindah to the other side, become times 2. So now I will just solve for Q. How to solve? You cannot pindah 58, you cannot pindah 2 because the modulus is there. So you have to pindah modulus first. So what I will do is I'll write here, it will be negative 2Q minus 58 equals to 72. And then negative 2Q minus 58 equals to negative 72. Means, because when you move modulus, it will split into how to say, satu tambah satu tolak. So now I can find Q, now I can find Q. But let's find this first. So I will press 72 plus 58 and then divide negative 2, negative 65. Let's do again. Negative 72 plus 58, but then divide 2. Divide negative 2, so 7. So definitely I will reject this. Why rejected? Because the Q, if you look at Q, is the y coordinate of point B. So we all know the x coordinate is 8 and then the y coordinate is Q, and we know Q must be positive because it's above 0, right? So definitely Q is 7. It means point B is 8, 7. All right. So yeah, that's the answer for A. Okay, so done already, because they asked for value of Q only, right? So yeah, that's the answer. Okay, let's go to question B. So B says what? One hidden weapon is located at the perpendicular bisector of line joining B and C. So one hidden weapon is located at the perpendicular bisector BC. So where is B? Here. Where is C? Here. So the perpendicular bisector of BC will be like this lah. It will be a line straight down the middle of BC, means it will pass through the midpoint of BC, and at the same time it will be perpendicular to BC. So this is the perpendicular bisector. The one I draw just now, this is the perpendicular bisector. And then they say find the equation that describe the possible location of the weapon. So the hidden weapon must be somewhere along here, right? So, and then they ask you to find the equation, means you cari equation of this line lah. So how to find equation in Addmaths? Y minus y1 equals gradient x minus x1. Of course, you can use the y equals mx plus c formula also, but I will do it like this. So it means I need gradient and I need a point yang ada passes through. But I already know the point will passes through siapa. It will not passes through B, it will not passes through C, it will passes through the midpoint of BC. So later I have to find midpoint. But gradient also I don't have, right? But it's fine. I can try to find gradient of BC first. And then I terbalik and tukar tanda. Okay. So now my mission is what? My job is what? Find gradient of BC, terbalik tukar tanda because it's perpendicular. So let's do it. Gradient of BC equals to, okay, I already know B is 8, 7. So y minus y bahagi x minus x. Negative 4 minus 7 divide by 3 minus 8. I will end up with negative 11 over negative 5, which is 11 over 5. But this is the M1. This is the M1. And we all know M1 times M2 equals to negative 1 because it's a perpendicular case, right? And we all know M1 is 11 over 5. So what is M2? Negative 5 over 11. You can just terbalik and tukar tanda. Or you want to use calculator also can. So now I know my gradient, but I still need the point yang passes through. And which point I already mentioned, you can't take point B or point C or point A. You have to take the midpoint of BC. Remember this, in exam, whenever you see the perpendicular bisector, means you need the midpoint. The point you use must be the midpoint. So midpoint equals to x plus x divide 2, y plus y divide 2. And the midpoint is B and C midpoint. So x plus x, 3 plus 8, and then negative 4 plus 7. So what is the midpoint? Let's go. Let's scroll down. And then here we end up with 11 over 2. Here is 3 over 2. Now I have my point. I have my gradient. I think I can finally use this formula. So when I write this formula, it will be y minus something equals to gradient x minus something. Gradient saya sudah tahu, negative 5 over 11. Y I have to minus with y coordinate. So of course it's minus 3 over 2. And then x have to minus 11 over 2. But if let's say the point is negative here, then you will write plus already inside here because minus become plus, right? Okay, anyways, so y equals to what? Negative 5 over 11 darat masuk, expand the bracket, it will be negative 5 over 11x. Negative 5 over 11 times negative will become positive. 5 over 11 times 11 over 2 is 5 over 2 because you can cut, right? And don't forget to minus 3 over 2 pindah jadi plus 3 over 2. Final answer, negative 5 over 11x. 5 over 2 plus 3 over 2 is 8 over 2. And we all know 8 divided 2 is 4. So this is the answer, right? Let's continue. Question number 9. So this is obviously integration. You look at this, you know it's integration already. So let's see. Given that integrate blah 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 equals to p blah blah blah, integrate 5 3 fx dx equals to q. Oh, by the way, the 3 can letak depan one. Okay, and then 3 1 gx dx is r, such that p q r are constants. Express soalan A nak cari apa? Integrate 5 1 fx dx in terms of PQ. Okay, if you're struggling with this question, means you haven't memorized the properties. Okay, the properties of definite integral. Did you remember this? You don't remember? Okay, let's talk about it. So okay, I think I write down here lah. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 properties of definite integral. Okay, so you have to make sure you memorize these 5. The first property is if I give you integrate BA k fx dx. Can you see the k? If k is a value, it can be a number, and if it's a times relation, you can take it out like this. Okay, it will be BA fx dx. This. So that is the first property lah. The first property you need to remember. The next one is if I give you integrate BA fx dx, you can actually terbalikkan these two number, you know. You can terbalikkan this BA becomes AB. But you have to add a negative. You have to add a negative in front. Okay. It means if originally is a negative, then it will change to positive. Okay. Means you have to tukar tanda lah. Okay. That's the second property. The third property is what? The third property is if I give you integrate BA fx dx plus with integrate C to B fx dx, I can combine them together. Okay, let me just mention what is the syarat ataupun what is the condition. Macam mana baru boleh combine? When dalam kena sama. Okay, dalam have to sama and also the limit have to sama. But not everything sama lah, just the silang sama. Can you see B atas, B bawah sama? Then you can combine. So what happens when you combine is the B and B will cancel each other and then you will just left with the up one left with C, right? So atas C and then bawah left with A. And then that's how you combine it. Okay. But of course, you can also gabungkan when it's like this. CB and then BA. Can also. Because like this also same, right? Silang. And then you will cancel, cut. And then in the end, you will left with CA. But of course, you have to make sure whatever inside here have to be the same. Because if this is fx, but this is gx, then you can't combine already. It has to be whatever inside the thing has to be same. It has to be fx, then only you can combine. And you make sure the number here silang kena sama. Okay, not up sama, down sama. It has to be one up, one down. One up, one down. Satu atas, satu bawah. Okay, for my fourth property is pecahkan. You can separate one. So if I give you integrate BA and then inside I'll write fx plus ataupun minus gx dx. I can separate this into two integral. So it will be integrate BA. I can separate fx dx and then plus minus. It means if this is plus, then it's plus. If this is minus. And then you can open another integrate BA gx dx. Okay, like that. That means you can, if dalam ada plus minus sign ataupun dalam ada dua term, you can separate like this. Okay, and when you separate, the number will stay the same. BA. Okay, for my last property is when I give you integrate AA fx dx, then it will equals to 0. It means doesn't matter integrate what lah inside, as long as the number here and number here is same, then automatic the answer is 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 properties, you need to memorize all of it to answer this question. And it's very helpful actually because it comes out a lot in paper 1. In paper 2, not so much. In paper 2, usually they test how to find area and all that. But in paper 1, they like to ask this. So make sure you memorize this before SPM. Okay, so let's come back here. So integrate 5(1) fx dx, how can I find it? Definitely I won't use this information because this is for integrate gx. So I think I will be using this ataupun this lah, ataupun both lah, I don't know. So let's see, this is integrate 5(1) fx dx, but this is integrate 3(1). So they are not the same. What about this? This is 5(3), but it's 3 fx dx. So according to the property, the 3 I can letak depan, right? So I can letak depan like this, fx dx equals to q. It means integrate 5(3) fx dx is equals to q divide 3 lah, because when you move in front, it will be 3 times. So times 3 become divide 3 like this. But it's still not what I want. I want 5(1), not 3(1), not 5(3). But if you look at this, atas ada 3, bawah ada 3. And dalam sudah sama kan? Okay, look at this one lah. Don't look at this because the 3 ada kan. So look at this and look at this. Can you see the 3 atas dengan 3 bawah sama, and inside is fx, inside fx. According to the property I mentioned just now, you can combine when dalam sama and then the limit satu atas satu bawah sama. Then it will left with CA like this, right? So let's come back here. It means I can, even though I don't have integrate 5(1) fx dx, but I know I can take integrate 5(3) fx dx plus with integrate 3(1) fx dx. Okay, 3(1) fx dx. because that way the 3 and 3 can cancel and then left with 5, 1, which is exactly what I want. And we all know 5, 3 fx dx is q over 3. Okay. Because I take out the 3 already, and then divide 3. And then we all know integrate 3, 1 fx dx is just p. So that's the answer. Okay. Okay, let's go to soalan B. Okay. But before I go to soalan B, I think I need to make this smaller. Okay. Okay, I'll just place it like this lah. Okay lah, can lah, can lah. Okay. All right, I'll just do B. So B is this integrate 3, 1, this one. So what I will do is I'll separate. Okay, whenever you see the integration question and there's like plus minus inside the bracket, you confirm you'll be using this one. You will use the fourth one property where you will separate it. You will separate into 2. Okay. So let's do that. Separate into 2. So when you separate, it become what? Integrate 3, 1, the 2r square x, and then you have to write dx. Sometimes students forget to write the dx one. And then minus, I will also follow minus integrate 3, 1 gx dx. Okay. Maybe some of you will ask, hey, where the minus come from? I told you already, in the property, it's plus minus. Means if it's plus, then it will follow plus. It will minus, then it's minus also. For this case, it's minus, right? So minus. Okay, now I will scroll up a bit because I have to use the information. Okay. All right. So how can I integrate the 3, 1 gx dx? Well, it's given already. 3, 1 gx dx is r. And then what about this one? Can I use the information yang dia bagi? I don't think so, because the information yang dia bagi is either integrate fx ataupun integrate gx. This one is not even integrate fx gx, it's integrate 2r square x. So I think I have to integrate this myself without relying on this. So how to integrate this myself? So can you see this is dx? It means with respect to x. It means x is the thing that I have to take the power plus 1, not the r square. So the r square, leave it. The x power 1 yang kena tambah 1 means jadi 2, and then over 2. And then the 3, 1 you will write here. And then now the 2 and 2 can cut. You will left with r square times x square. But you will substitute 3 dalam and then substitute 1 dalam and then tolak. So what happens when you substitute 3 inside x? Not substitute inside r, inside x. So 3 square will be 9. So it will be 9 r square. And then substitute 1 inside x also. 1 square is 1. 1 times r square is r square. And then minus r. So the answer is 8 r square minus r. Right? So I know I talk for a long time, but the most important thing is you understand. Okay, let's go to number 10. Okay, number 10. Ryan uses colored triangle cuts. So, okay, it's like a cut okay, of different sizes to investigate the pattern of Sierpinski's triangle. Okay, Sierpinski is a mathematician. He's the mathematician that create this pattern. So that's why the pattern is named after him. Okay. And then they say diagram 8 shows the pattern of Sierpinski's triangle. So this is the triangle pattern that he formed. The height of the second stage triangle is half of the height of triangle in the first stage. Ryan starts the first stage triangle with 40 cm. Okay, it means in the first stage, the triangle height is 40 cm, the perpendicular height, not the sangat punya height, the perpendicular punya height. And they say the second stage, the triangle will be half of the height. So the half, it means second triangle, it will be 20 cm already, right? And then when it goes to here, all the triangle will be 10 cm already. Okay, maybe some of you will mention this. If you look carefully at this triangle, it looks exactly the same as this triangle. It means the height is also 20, right? But you have to know something. They got mentioned something here, colored triangle cuts. So I think we are only looking at it means this triangle, I don't think we count it, okay? I don't think we will look at this triangle. We will only look at the small one, okay? So the height of this is 10, the height of this is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. But this is not 10, the white color one. Okay, but it's okay. Let's go to number 1 says what? Find the height of triangle used in the 7th stage. I think first thing first is I have to form a progression using the height. Okay, so let's form a progression first. So we will use height, not area, not perimeter. So the height of the first stage is 40, followed by 20, followed by 10, and so on. So the A is 40 and the R is 1 over 2, because it must be geometric because you divide by 2, right? So yeah, it should be 1 over 2. And then the height of triangle in the 7th stage, which is T7, because this is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, right? So the T7 will be 4 AR power n minus 1. So 40 times with 1 over 2 power n minus 1. 7 minus 1 is 6. So you press this, you get an answer. 40 times open bracket 1 over 2 close bracket power 6. I got 5 over 8. But let's change to fraction 0.625. So centimeter, right? Yeah. So that's the height. Okay. So let's go to question number 2. Okay, I think for question 2, I'll do it here, right? So let's read. Find the number of triangle used at the last stage. If the height of triangle at the last stage is 5 over 64, it means I'm still using this same progression, but they say that the height of the triangle for the last stage is 5 over 64. Means 40 become 20 is divide by 2. So divide by 2, divide 2, divide 2, divide 2, and eventually it will reach 5 over 64. Means what I will do is I'll write Tn equals to 5 over 64, and I will try to find n first. Okay, and how to do that? You will use the same formula, AR power n minus 1. And the A we already know is 40, the R is 1 over 2, the N I don't know, I'm trying to find, so just write n minus 1 equals to 5 over 64. And I might need to tambah log later. Okay, if depend on the case lah. If I cannot change to same base, I might need to tambah log. But I feel like this one can change to same base. Let's try. What is 5 divide 64 divide 40? Let's press. 5 divide 64 divide 40. 1 over 5, 1, 2. And actually, this one, now you want to find n, you will try to see whether this number and this number can change to same base or not, right? And the answer is yes, you can change to same base. But if you cannot change to same base, then you have to tambah log lah. But this one no need, because 1 over 5, 1, 2 is actually 1 over 2 power 9. Because I know 1 power 9 will give me 1, 2 power 9 will give me 5, 1, 2. You can try with your calculator. So since now the base, I can tukar same base already, now I can take out the power. So n minus 1 equals 9, n equals to 10. But the question never stop here, because the question asks for what? Find the number of triangle used at the last stage. Now, they are asking number of triangle used at the last stage, and we already know there is 10 stages. In stage 1, how many triangle? 1. In stage 2, how many triangle? Okay, at first, when I do this by myself, I thought I have to count the white color triangle also. So I go and count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I thought there's 4 triangle. It means this one got 1, this one got 4. And then this one also I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But then the more I think about it, the more I realize that it's wrong to count like this. Because imagine this. If I count 1, 2, 3, 4, what about this one? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one I'm counting also. What about this one? So there should be 5 already, right? And also, I don't think you should count the white color one, because the soalan already says Ryan used colored triangular cuts. It means the shaded one is the triangle cut, is like a cut, you know. So I think I'm just counting the cut. This is not a cut, this is an empty space. So we shouldn't count the empty space, means we shouldn't count the white color one. So we only count the shaded one. It means there's only 1 triangle here. There's only 3 triangle here. 1, 2, 3. We don't count this one. And then how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't count this is blank space. So there's 9 here. So it means in this first stage, there's 1 triangle. Second stage is 3 triangle. Third stage is 9 triangle, right? And then what about the 10th stage? How many triangle do you think? Okay, if you look at 1, 3, 9, these are all the numbers for 3 power, right? Because we all know 3 power 0 is 1. 3 power 1 is 3. 3 power 2 is 9. So what is 3 power? So by the time it reach the 10th stage, it will be 3 power 9 lah, which is, let's press 3 power 9, 19683. It means at the 10th stages, there will be 19683 triangle. Okay, maybe some of you will ask, hey, why 3 power 9, not 3 power 10? Okay, the reason is because if you look at this, the first stage is 3 power 0. The number of triangle is 3 power 0. And then in second stage, baru is 3 power 1. And then in third stage, baru 3 power 2. It means if it's first stage, my power have to be 0. If it's second stage, my power have to be 1. If it's third stage, my power have to be 2. Then if it's 10th stage, my power have to be 9 lah. Okay, so makes sense. So that's how you do it. All right. Okay, let's go to soalan B. Given A is the first term and R is the common ratio, if R have to be bigger than 1, show that the sum of first n term is equals to this. Okay, let me show you. This reminds me of another trial question I did. So I'll show you now. Actually, I already opened it just now. I think it's the Malacca one. Yeah, this one. So this is Malacca trial. And I already upload this video. If you want the full explanation, you can go watch it. This is Malacca 2022 Addmaths, question 14. Okay, question 14. Paper 1, paper 1. Paper 1. All right, let's see paper 1, what they says. If A is first term, D is common difference, blah, 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 show that the sum is this one. All right, and how I do it, this is how I do it. Okay, I try to, how to say, write down Sn and then write it in a different way and then try to, okay, add them together, pair them up lah. I try to pair them up, and then that's how I show the formula. Okay, and also I want to show another trial, which is the Kelantan trial. Look at this. They also ask us to show the formula. Can you see? Given the quadratic equation, blah 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 blah, show that alpha plus beta equals negative b over a, alpha is c over a. So they also ask you to show, and you know this is the Soper formula, right? And yeah, this is the working lah. Okay, but you can watch yourself. This is Kelantan. This question and this question punya explanation I upload already. Okay, but let's go to Negeri Sembilan. Okay, the reason I show you the other question is because I want you to see how often it comes up in trial. So they will ask you to show formula, and I know students struggle with this type of question, right? Like when they ask you to derive the formula, they ask you how the formula come from, right? When they ask you to show the formula, so I will show you how to do it lah. Okay, okay. I want you to, okay, I will go back again to the Malacca paper. The Malacca paper asks us to show the formula for Sn, but this Sn formula is n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d, and this is for the arithmetic one, and this is how we show it. I will not explain it. If you want the explanation, you go watch yourself. Go find the Malacca video. But this is showing the Sn formula for arithmetic. But the Negeri Sembilan asks us to show for geometric. That's why you see the Sn formula is a r power n minus 1 over r minus 1. But we learn in our syllabus, there's also another version, which is 1 minus r power n over 1 minus r, right? So what they want now is to show this one, right? So the method will be different with the what, the Malacca one. So this question will be different. The method to show will be different. So I will show you how. So first is I'll write down Sn, but Sn stands for sum of first n term, right? And we all know Sn will be T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4 plus T5 until until Tn lah. If this is S7, then I add until T7. That's how you do it. But we all know the Tn formula for geometric progression is AR power n minus 1. It means when it's T1, we just call it A. When it's T2, it's actually AR power n minus 1, which is AR power 1. And then T3 will be AR power 2, and then so on until when? Until Tn, which is AR power n minus 1, right? And I think I will erase all this. Okay, so that's the Sn. Okay, that's the Sn. But what I will do now is I will take the Sn, I will call this equation 1, and then I will take the same Sn, but this time I will times with R. Okay, but if you remember in the Malacca, I didn't do it like this. Let's go to Malacca. I never times. I actually just write it differently and then pair them up together. But because the reason why is because in arithmetic, it's if you plus minus, you can do, because arithmetic progression is constructed by addition, but geometric is constructed by multiplication. That's why you have to direct with R. Okay, so you just remember the step. So what happens when you times with R? You will get AR, and then this one you will get with AR power 2, times with R, you will get AR power 3, and then dot dot dot. What is AR power n minus 1 times with AR? You will get AR power n. Let me explain. AR power n minus 1 times with R is actually A times R power n minus 1 times R power 1. It's actually A times base summer darab, the power you pass, n minus 1 plus 1, potong potong. That's why you're left with AR power n. That's how you get AR power n. Okay, and I'll call this equation 2. And now what I will do now is I will take equation 2 minus equation 1, because you can pair them up like this. Can you see it? The AR and the AR same. AR cos 2 and AR cos 2 same. And definitely this AR cos 3 will be same with whatever here also. And everything in between here, it will cancel each other, because yeah, they should be the same. And this AR power n will cancel with the term before this. Okay. No. No. It must be like this. AR power n minus 1 cancel with the term before like this. Okay. It means this one can cancel when they minus, because they look the same, right? That's why I take equation 2 minus equation 1. So it'll be what? r times s power n minus with s power n, right? Okay, wait. Okay, yes. And then equals to what? Equation 2 minus equation 1. So what happens when I take AR minus AR? I will cancel them, become 0. So cancel, hilang. This one minus this one, cancel also. This one minus this one, cancel also. And then I'll just left with A and AR power n. It doesn't matter how many terms I have here because they will end up cancelling each other. So it will just be left with AR power n minus A because I'm taking equation 2 minus equation 1. That's why I have to write this one first, then only I minus this. Okay, so that's what I end up with. And now what I will do is, since I'm trying to get the formula for Sn, I will factorize out Sn. So what happens when I factorize? I will get r minus 1 here. And then here I will also factorize out A, which is I will get r power n minus 1, right? And then now I get my Sn formula. A r power n minus 1 over r minus 1. So now, finish already. That's the answer. Okay. So let's see whether summer. So A r power n minus 1 or r minus 1. So summer, right? So we can write the word shown. But I do want to explain one thing. What if I'm trying to show this formula? I'm trying to show the 1 minus r punya, not the r minus 1 punya. Then how I will do it? Then you don't take 2 minus 1 lah. You take 1 minus 2. Because if you take 1 minus 2, this will terbalik. It will not be r minus 1. It will be 1 minus r. And this will also be terbalik. It will be 1 minus r power n. Then it will look like this already. Okay. So if you take equation 2 minus equation 1, you will get this. Okay. But if you take equation 1 minus equation 2, you will get this. But this soalan, they asked to show which one? They asked to show this one, right? That's why I just do it like this. So that's the answer, right? So hope you understand. Let's go to question 11. So they ask us to solve the equation, this one. Okay, we need to know some formula before doing this. So the first formula I want to mention is the NPR formula. The formula is n factorial divide n minus r factorial. Okay. And also you need to know NCR punya formula. Okay, actually this one you don't have to know lah for this question. But I will mention also n factorial over r factorial bracket n minus r factorial. And one more formula that you need to know is n factorial is equals to n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 until 1. Okay, until you reach 1. So we can say that n factorial is actually n times n minus 1 factorial. Okay. Actually, you can stop wherever you want. You can also say that n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 factorial. You can also say it like this. Or you can also say n times n minus 1 times n minus 3 factorial. Okay, so these are all can apply one. And you can apply all of this. Okay, with this, then you can solve this one. So solve this equation. So for soalan A, 2n permutation n. Okay. I think I will straight away cross multiply lah, because it's like something or something or something or something, right? And everything looks so different, and I don't think I can simplify now. So what I do, I think I will just cross multiply. So what I will do is just I will write 2n pn times with n factorial, and then equals to 10n times with 2n minus 2 factorial. And then only I will start doing it. Okay, now I will scroll down, now I'll start doing it. Okay, first thing first, the 2n pn formula I can change to 2n factorial over 2n minus n factorial. Because I mentioned to you already, this is the NPR formula. You can write n factorial over n minus r. N is the nombor atas, r is the nombor bawah. So nombor atas is 2n, nombor bawah is 2n. That is why I can change this to what? I can change this to 2n factorial over n minus r, which is 2n minus n factorial. That's the reason. And then continue with darab. N factorial, I think I will leave it first, and then equals to 10n times 2n minus 2 factorial. Okay, I saw something here. 2n minus n is 1n. And then times with n factorial. It means this one later I can cut already. And then equals to 10n times 2n minus 2 factorial. And I also noticed something. This 2n factorial, I can write it because this 2n factorial and this is also, but this is 2n minus 2 factorial. So how I will write this is I will write 2n times with 2n minus 1 times with 2n minus 2 times with 2n minus 3 until so on and so on. But I will stop here. I will write 2n times 2n minus 1 times 2n minus 2 factorial. The reason why is because I know this one can cut with this because it's a times relation, everything. So when you move there, become divide, then the 2n minus 2 factorial can cut already. So you're just left with 2n bracket 2n minus 1 equals to 10n. And then now when you darab masuk, expand, you get 4n square minus 2n minus 10n equals 0. Then it becomes a quadratic. Okay. I mentioned already, right? N factorial can change to this, and you can stop whenever you want, you know. You can be n times n minus 1 factorial ataupun n times n minus 1 times n ataupun macam ni. This one wrong already. It should be n minus 2 and then baru n minus 3 factorial. Sorry. But this one, the reason why I choose to stop here is because I know I can simplify with the other side. Okay, now I will get 4n square minus 2 minus 10 is minus 12n equals 0. So this is quadratic, so there should be, I think there's two answers. First, I will kecilkan first, divide 4 like this. And then now I'll factorize. This one factorize is easy. You don't need calculator actually. So the here will be, just take out the n, here will be n minus 3. And then this is bracket equals 0. So take the first bracket equals 0. And then the second bracket also equals 0. N minus 3 equals 0 means n is equals to 3. So these are the answers, right? So that's how you do it lah. Okay, soalan B. Let's read. Puan Sashita arranged 8 beads to form a bracelet. You see this word? This word is so important. Whenever you see the word bracelet and necklace, you need to use this formula. N minus 1 factorial divided by 2. Or you can also say n factorial divide 2n. Okay. Let's keluar sekejap. I will take you to the MRSM paper. This is MRSM paper. The last video I make is the MRSM paper. If you want the explanation, you can watch. So be, be careful. This one comes out a lot of time already. This word bracelet come out three times already. In Negeri Sembilan, in MRSM, and it also comes out in one more paper, but I forgot already lah. Okay, but yeah, it comes out a lot. So remember, if it's bracelet, you need to know. Okay, let's read this. So you can see 7 pearls, 6 beads arranged using different ways. All pearls are arranged in a circle to make a bracelet. So you see, I use this formula, find the number of ways. But you can watch the full explanation by yourself. I already upload this video. I just want to show you the similarity and how frequent it comes out in your trial. So very high chance to come out in SPM. So you need to be careful. So now come back here. So he arranged 8 bits. So the number of ways will be 8 minus 1 factorial, but divide by 2 because it's a bracelet. So just remember, whenever you see the word bracelet ataupun necklace, you will use this formula. Okay. But what if they just say arrange in a circle, but they never say bracelet necklace, but it's arranged in a circle? Then you will use this formula, n minus factorial ataupun n factorial divide n. Okay. If it's just arranging in a circle because for circular permutation it's like that one. All right, but if it's a bracelet ataupun necklace, then you have to divide 2. Okay, because the reason why is because for bracelet and necklace, the clockwise arrangement and anti-clockwise arrangement look the same. That's why I have to divide. Okay, just make sure you remember that. Okay, they say what? How many different bracelet can she form if 3 of the beads are of the same color? Oh, means got 3 beads repeat. Means repeat. So if repeat means I have to divide lagi dengan 3 factorial. Okay, because do you remember if I give you for example letter A, B, C, and I want you to arrange this, it will just be 3P3, right? But what if this one is AAC? AAC means got repeat means I have to divide by 2 factorial because it repeat 2 times, right? But what if it's like it means the formula will be n factorial divided by a factorial, b factorial, c factorial, dot, dot, dot. And the a, b, c stands for number of times the thing repeats, right? If it repeats 2 times, then 2 factorial. So for this 3 bits repeat, that is why I divide by 3 factorial. Okay, so now I just have to press this in my calculator, then I will get the answer already. Okay, so what I will do here is I will get 7 factorial. The down part I will tekan 3 factorial times 2. So 12. All right. And then now I will tekan 7 factorial times 2. Divide 12. So 420. Okay. So that's the correct way to do it. Okay. So I hope you understand. Now I think I can go to question C. So question C says what? Question C. Let's scroll down a bit. Okay. Question C. Haris owns 5 shirts, 7 pants, 4 shoes. How many ways can Haris choose? So choose. So we will use combination. So choose 2 of each item to pack for a vacation. So you want to go enjoy a holiday, you want to go vacation, but you want to choose 2 shirts, 2 pants, 2 shoes. So from 5, I choose 2. From 7 pants, I choose 2 each. 4 shoes, I choose 2 to pack inside the luggage. And then times lah. Not plus, you have to times. If you do plus, salah. Because he didn't just choose shirt only, ataupun pants only, ataupun shoes only. They have to choose all. It means choose this one and this one and this one. That's why it's times. So 5C2 times 7C2 times 4C2, 1260. Okay, hope you get the same. That's the answer. So let's continue with the next question. So we have question number 12. So this is the last question in section A. Diagram 9 shows two normal curves, A and B, with this is a symbol for mean. So the mean is 500. It means the axis of symmetry will be 500. Remember this, in normal distribution, the bell-shaped curve, the mean will tell you the axis of symmetry. Okay, and then the standard deviation will tell you the width and the height of the curve. So if the standard deviation is really big, okay, if the standard deviation is big, then it means the width will be bigger. The width will be bigger, and the height will be smaller. Okay, because if you realize if the height is very small, means the width is very big. Like look at this. Look at this curve. Can you see the height is very short, but then the width is so fat? It's like the width is lebih besar lah. Okay, but look at this. Even though the height is very high, but look at the width is so small. It's smaller than the down part. So itu kena tahu lah. Okay, but let's erase this. Okay, now I think I can read the soalan. If variance of data x and data y are 1,200, 3,600, determine the appropriate curve represented x and y. So we can say that x has a smaller variance. If x has a smaller variance, means the standard deviation for x is also smaller. Okay, because the formula for calculating standard deviation is just square root the variance, right? And then what about the variance, the standard deviation for y? Okay, the variance for y is bigger, so the standard deviation of y is also bigger lah. And I already mentioned standard deviation will tell you the width, right? So what happens when your standard deviation is smaller? Means your width also smaller lah. Your width also smaller, and your height is bigger. And then what happens when your standard deviation is bigger? Means your width will also follow, will be bigger also, but then the height will be very short. So we can say that this red line, can you see it has a bigger width but a smaller height? So that curve B, that's the curve B, right? That's the data Y punya. So the curve B. So this is curve B. And then for the blue color one, the curve A, can you see the height is like very tall, the height is longer, but then the width is so small, right? Because the standard deviation is smaller. So that's the curve A, right? So that's how you do it. Okay, I think I can cover this to do B because it's not related, right? B is like different one. Okay, let's do B. A jar contains 4 green marbles, 7 red marble, 9 white marble. 3 marbles are taken random one after another without replacement. What does it mean by without replacement? Means I choose 3 taken random one after another, means I take one marble, and then after I take one marble, I will not put it back in the bag. It means my probability of success for the second time I choose will be different, will keep changing. My probability of success will keep changing because without replacement. If I say with replacement, means my chances of success ataupun probability of success will always stay the same. And then it says state whether this probability distribution is a binomial or not. The answer is no. The answer is no, because for in binomial distribution ada beberapa karakteristik yang you kena tahu tau. And one of the characteristic is the probability of success should always be the same. Okay, that's the characteristic. But if probability of success should always be the same. But if you look at this, the probability of success will keep changing. That's why it's not a binomial. So no, because what? Because the chances of success ataupun the probability of success, chances and probability same meaning lah. Okay, so the chances of success is uh, uh, keeps changing. Keep changing. Keeps changing. Okay, or you can also say because it's a dependent. Okay, it's a dependent event because if the probability does not change, means it's independent. It's independent events. But if it keeps changing, then it's dependent. So that's how I will write lah. Okay, so no, it's not a binomial because the probability of success keeps changing. Okay, let's go to question number 13. So number 13. Before I go to 13, I want to mention a bit. If you want to refer, I will give you the page to refer. Okay, wait. The page is wait. Let me find it. Wait. Okay, if you want a more detailed explanation, you can go to textbook page 15. Okay, wait, let me find it. So binomial, 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 binomial. Okay, I found it. Page 153. Okay. So if you want to read yourself, you can go to textbook page 153 from 5 punya textbook, from 5 MS. So and then you can find there the characteristic. Okay, the characteristic for binomial. So and then you will see that the probability of success must be unchanged for it to be binomial. But this one they changed, that's why. Okay, let's go to section B. Bahagian ini mengandungi 3 soalan, jawab 2 soalan, but I will jawab all 3. Okay, because we are doing revision, so I think I should jawab all 3. Let's go. Diagram. So they give you diagram 10 shows the graph of absolute function for the domain 0 until 4. So I can see it. That's the domain. And then A state the value of K. If you look at this equation, it's modulus 2x minus 3 plus K. That is why it looks like a V shape. Because if I give you y equals mx plus c, you will get a straight line like this, ataupun like this, right? But if I put modulus, then everything below the x-axis will reflect up, And then this one will erase, this one will erase. Because modulus, that's what modulus do. They will reflect the negative value to positive. But then they got plus K. It means the whole thing will move up ataupun move down lah. Okay, if it's moved down, then the K value will be negative. If it's moved up, then it will be positive. Just like the trigo lah. Do you remember you learned trigo graph? If I give you y equals a sine bx plus c, what the plus c here means, if I say plus 1, means the whole graph have to move up, right? If I say minus, then the whole graph have to move down. So for this, definitely move down already, because look carefully. Why got value negative 1? Because modulus means everything is above the x-axis one. But you can see something, you can see below x-axis. Means after he do the modulus, he moved down already. So move down berapa unit? 0 to negative 1. So move down 1 unit. So the K is negative 1. Okay, means the whole, after you modulus, the whole thing got moved down 1 unit. That's why the smallest value is negative 1. So 1 mark for that. B, find the x-intercept. Yeah, this one easy. X-intercept just ganti y equals 0. Ataupun you can also say ganti fx equals 0. So 0 equals to modulus 2x minus 3 plus k, but we already know k is negative 1. Minus 1 jadi plus 1, so 0 plus 1 equals to modulus 2x minus 3. Pindah modulus, so I will end up with 2x minus 3 equals 1, and then 2x minus 3 equals negative 1. When you pindah modulus, there will be 2 answer, 1 positive, 1 minus. 1 plus 1 minus. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 divided 2 is 2. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2, 2 divided 2 is 1. So that's the answer. So the x-intercept is what? X-intercept is 2 and 1. Ataupun 1 and 2 lah. Okay. It means got 2 x-intercept lah. Satu dekat sini, satu dekat sini. Let's go to soalan C. Find the domain of fx smaller sama dengan 1. So we already know fx is this one. Modulus 2x minus 3 plus k. But k is negative 1. But then they say fx have to be smaller sama dengan 1. So fx smaller sama dengan 1. It means this whole thing also have to be smaller sama dengan 1 lah. And then now I try to find the domain. Means find the range of object. Because domain means object. Means I'm trying to find the range of x. Object is x. So I just pindah. So 2x minus 3, smaller sama dengan minus 1 jadi plus 1. And now I can pindah modulus. And what happens when I pindah modulus? 1 plus, 1 minus. So 2x minus 3 equals to 2. 2x minus 3 equals to negative 2. But be careful, because this is not equal. This is smaller sama dengan. So I think later I have to change back the equal to this symbol, but it's okay. For now, I will just anggap dia sebagai equal and cari x dulu. So let's find x. 2 plus 3 is 5, so 5 over 2. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1, 1 over 2. And now, I cannot just change this to smaller sama dengan, smaller sama dengan. I already explained in which question just now? Let's find it. Quadratic inequality, where is it? I already explained in question number. There. This one. Question number 5. 5C. I already explained it just now. You can't just do that. It's just like quadratic inequality. You cannot just tukar the sign macam tu. What you have to do here is you have to look at the symbol. If it's smaller, then your answer will look like this. If it's bigger, then the answer will look like this. X smaller something, X bigger something. If it's bigger, look like this. But if it's smaller, it will look like this. X between something. But let's erase this. So this case, the symbol is smaller. It means I have to write X in between. And the other lines happen to another line. And always put the small number here, the big number here. 1 over 2 and 5 over 2, I think 1 over 2 is smaller. And then 5 over 2 is bigger. So that's the range. So that's the C answer. And now I can go to D. D says what? Find the value of x that is mapped onto itself in the given domain. Find the value of x that map onto itself means find the value of find object that is mapped onto itself means the object and image is the same. Means fx equals to x lah. Or you can also say x equals to fx. And this x I will leave it, and this fx I will ganti with this one. Modulus 2x minus 3 plus k, but we only know k is -1. So now I just have to solve for x, then I get the answer already. So how to find modulus 2x minus 3 equals to -1 jadi +1, and then pindah modulus kan. So what happens when I pindah modulus? Akan ada dua jawapan, satu plus, satu minus. So the first answer will be x plus 1, the next one will be negative x plus 1, but bracket, no bracket, salah. And then 2x minus x equals to 1 plus 3, and then x equals to 4. Yeah, siap. 2x minus 3 equals to negative x minus 1. 2x plus x equals to -1 plus 3. Wait, this is x, sorry. So 3x equals to 2x equals to 2 over 3. Right? So find the value of x, got two answers, 4 and 2 over 3. So I write here x equals to 4, comma, or 2 over 3. Okay. So that's the answer. Okay, let me check with the schema jawapan and see whether I do it correctly. Number 13, -1, 1, 2, -1, 1, 2. Okay, yes. And then 1 over 2, 5 over 2, yes. 4, 2 over 3. Yep. Okay, number 14. This is obviously trigo, because you see cos already. So let's do it. Given that cos x equals to 1 over m, okay, definitely I will draw. You can't do this question if you don't draw. You don't go and tell me shift cos and then you try to do it. Cannot one, impossible one. You have to draw. Okay, this type of question must be draw one. So given that cos x equals 1 over m, such that the angle x must be in between 0 and 90. Pi over 2 is 90. And then express tangent to x. I don't care. You can't do this. You have to draw. You have to draw. So let's do it up here. Okay. So how can I draw it? Before I draw it, I need to know the angle is in which quadrant first. So do you remember cos bernilai? Actually, I don't know because I don't know m, right? But I do know that the x angle must be in between 0 and 90. So definitely quadrant 1. Definitely quadrant 1. So it will be 90 degree, and then this will be my angle. And then they say cos is 1 over m. So adjacent is 1, hypotenuse is m. Adjacent is this line. So this one is 1, hypotenuse is this one. Means I can find the opposite. Square root bracket square minus bracket square. Why minus? Because I'm finding the short one. Take the m square minus 1 square. So it's square root m square minus 1. Because 1 square is 1, right? So now I have this. Now only I will try to express tangent to x. Now only I will try to do tangent to x. So let's do tangent to x. And the moment I see these two, then I know I have to use the double angle formula. What is the double angle formula? Well, it's given in the exam. Let me show you. So, okay, yeah, there. So this is the formulas. This is basic identity, right? Yang ada square punya basic identity. And then this one is the double angle. And then this one is the addition, subtraction, the multiple angle. And which one I will use? This one. This one I will use. So tangent 2a equals to 2 tangent a over 1 minus tangent square. 2 tangent a over 1 minus tangent square. Let's scroll back down. So 2 tangent a over 1 minus tangent square a. But of course, this one I won't write a lah. I will write x because it's tangent to x. So now I will just have to ganti masuk tangent x and ganti masuk tangent square x. Okay, what is tangent square x? Tangent square x means tangent x darab tangent x. Okay. But when you take tangent x darab tangent x, we don't write tangent x square like this. It's wrong. We don't write the square here. We will write the square here. Okay. It means tangent square x sebenarnya adalah tangent x kuasa 2. Right? It means if I just put tangent x here, then I get the answer already. How to find tangent? Opposite over adjacent. What is opposite? What is adjacent? Just look here. Opposite is square root m square minus 1. And then adjacent is 1. So when I write, I will write square root m square minus 1 over 1, but over 1 no need to write lah, useless one. Here also tangent x, so just write square root m square minus 1 over 1, and then over 1 tak payah tulis pun tak apa. So now you just have to simplify a bit. So 2 times it will be 2 square root m square minus 1 over, and then this one, can I simplify? Yes, because square root and square can cancel each other, so you just left with m square minus 1, but make sure you put bracket or else it will be wrong. And then this will be 2 square root m square minus 1. This one nothing to do already. Yang atas memang tak boleh buat already. But yang bawah boleh. 1 minus m square minus 1 jadi plus 1 because the negative become positive. So now you get my final answer. 1 plus 1 is 2, so 2 minus m square down here, and this will be 2 square root m square minus 1. So that's the answer. But let's write it nicely. This one is m square minus 1. 2 times with square root m square minus 1. Okay. Okay, that's the answer for A. Okay, for question B, let's do it down here. Okay, let's go up a bit. Okay, like that. Diagram 11 shows a point PXY on a unit circle. The moment you see the word unit circle means the radius is 1, 1, -1, -1. So the radius is 1. Means OP is also 1 because unit circle. And also you can write CS here. It means cos this angle, cos this theta is equals to X and sine this angle is equals to Y. Okay, for unit circle. And then they say what? Given that X equals to cos theta, Y equals to sine theta. Okay, even if they never tell me this also, you should know that you should know about this. But they tell us already lah. X is equal to cos theta, Y is sine theta, but we should know it also. Okay, number 1 says what? Derive a basic identity, evolve cos theta and sine theta. The basic identity that they are talking about is this one. Sine square theta plus cos theta equals to 1. So what they want is you to derive this formula. So I realized in trial question, they like to ask this. Like they try to ask you to derive the formula. Like so many times already. Just now also you saw it, right? One of the question in this paper, they ask you to derive the Sn equals to a r power n minus 1 over r minus 1 formula. And then in the Malacca trial, they ask you to derive this formula. And then one of the, I think Kelantan or whatever, I forgot, they ask you to derive the Sopor formula, alpha plus beta negative b over a, right? So comes out a lot in trial to ask you to derive. So make sure you know how to do all of those. Okay. Okay, let's come back here. How to derive this formula? Okay, first of all, we do know that this point is x, this is y. So if I baca bawah here, this will be x, means the panjang of this is x. And then the tinggi will be y, because the y coordinate is y, right? Means the tinggi here y, tinggi here also y. So now I can use Pythagoras theorem. Means x square plus y square equals to 1 square, because Pythagoras theorem. And then we already know x is equals to cos theta, y is equals to sine theta. Means I can write cos theta square, but I already say that you don't write the square here. You will write the square here. Means you will write cos square theta. Same thing here. Y square. What is y? Sine theta, right? But we don't write sine theta square. We will write sine square theta. That's how we write it. And then 1 square is just 1. I mentioned earlier already here. When we take tangent x times tangent x is tangent x square, but we don't write the square at the back. We write at here. It's wrong to write belakang. Okay, so now you get your basic identity sine square plus cos square theta equals to 1. Okay, that's how you derive. Okay, and this one you can erase also. This one, this one can erase. Okay, that's how. That's all. Let's go to the last question. Question number 2. Where will I do it? Let's do it up here lah. Let's just do it here. Okay. So question number 2 says what? Hence solve. Solve means find the data lah. Solve the trigonometric function for this. All right. So 2 cos square theta minus 5 equals to 7 sine theta. And they say angle must be in between 0 and 360. Solve means find the unknown. So for this case, is find the theta lah. So how should I do it? Now my equation got cos, got sine, so it doesn't look nice. So I will try to make it supaya the other signs aja. Can I do that? Yes, very easy. Because kalau dia dapat ada square, means you can use basic identity. Okay, so what they will do is you change the cos square to 1 minus sine square. Why? Because you are using this. Because from this you can see that the cos square equals to what? 1 minus sine square. And why I do that? So that I will end up with an equation yang melibatkan sine sahaja. Can you see my equation only involves sine? And now if I expand, I will get a quadratic. And then I can do 2 times 1 is 2, and then 2 sine square theta minus 5 equals to 7 sine theta. Can you see it becomes a quadratic? So if quadratic means I have to move everything to one side equals 0. But I will choose to move everything to the right side, sebelah kanan, because I want my A to be positive. Actually, you want to move it to left side also can. But then you have to tukar tanda for everyone, but it can also. And then plus with 7 sine theta, 2 minus 5 is negative 3, but move there become plus 3. So now it will be 0 equals to bracket, bracket. And then now you will end up with 2 answers. Sine theta equals, sine theta equals. But of course, you have to press calculator to see what you get. Okay. So what you will press, mode degree 2. A is 2, B is 7, C is 3. So you get 2 answers. Negative 1 over 2, negative 3. Negative 1 over 2, negative 3 means here with sine theta plus 3. Here is sine theta plus 1, and then the over 2 have to write, the 2 have to write depan like this. But this is not theta yet. This is just sine theta. You still have to find theta, and how to do it? Okay, this one normal case or special case? Normal case. What about this one? What about this sine theta negative 3? Normal case or special case? This one is undefined. Math error. So what I will do is I will write undefined here. Okay, the reason why undefined is because sine dia punya limit is 1 until negative 1 saja. So for example, let me show you. So this is the sine graph. The highest value is 1, the lowest value is negative 1. Anything beyond that, no answer. Okay, that is why for sine 3 is undefined. Okay, and this one is a normal case. Hey, why I asked like that just now? Why I asked normal case or special case? Because if it's special case, you have to do it by memorizing. Okay, so what's the special case for sine, cos? It will be positive 1, 0, and negative 1. And then what will be the special case for tangent? 0. Okay, it means if I give you sine theta equals to 1, sine theta equals to 0, sine theta equals to negative 1, you have to hafal it. Theta is 90, this one is 0, 180, 360, and then this one is 270. Okay, these are all special case. And then what if I say cos theta equals to 1, cos theta equals 0, cos theta equals negative 1? Same thing, these are all special case. Theta equals to 0 and 360. This one is theta equals to 90 and 270. This one is 180. And for tangent, the other satu saja special case. Tangent theta is 0, theta is 0, 180, 360. So ada berapa special case? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you have to hafal all of this. So if it's like that, then it's special case. But if for this is normal case. And normal case, you can just use calculator. But don't tekan negative. Don't tekan negative. The negative you will not tekan, because the negative only indicates quadrant. So the negative is indicating is in third quadrant and fourth quadrant, because ASTC, right? Add sugar to coffee. Sign positive is 1 and 2, sign negative is 3 and 4. So how to tekan now? Just tekan shift sign 1 over 2. So let me press. Okay, I got 30. But don't tekan negative. But I already mentioned this 30 is not the answer. This 30 is just the reference angle. So what I will write is I'll write sine 30 equals to 1 over 2 like this. But then I will write theta equals to, I will not include the 30 because I have to convert to third quadrant and fourth quadrant. How to convert? Just take 30 plus 180, which is 210, and then 360 minus 30, which is 330. And then combine all the answers from here and here, and then write again. So dot, dot, dot. The answer is 210 and 330. But since this one is undefined, so I will not include, because undefined means tak ada jawapan. And make sure you remember all the 7 special case. Even though for this question you tak ingat pun boleh buat lah, because this question is not special case, but you need to make sure you know all of this. Okay. Okay, my handwriting slowly become ugly already. Okay, because I'm tired already. So yeah, let's go to last question. Number 15. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you will get stuck on this A question. So let's do it. Given that log 12 base 3 is K, okay, log 12 base 3 is K. And then they say express log 8 base square root 3, but they say in terms of K. Okay, I will explain using 2 methods. The first method, I will use a cara yang saya tak berapa recommend. And then only I will explain using the other method yang saya lebih prefer. Okay, so I will explain using one method first. So the one method that I will do now is I will do this. I will, because they give us in log 3 base 12, right? It means this one is base 12, but the one they asked me to solve is in base square root 3. So what I will do is I will change this to base 12, because the information is in base 12. So what I will do is like this. Base 12, base 12, and then log punya number letak atas, log punya apa? Log punya base letak bawah. So it will be log 12 square root 3. But we all know square root is power 1 over 2. So I can write 3 power 1 over 2. And power boleh buat apa? Letak depan. So you letak depan like this. And then you end up with log 8 base 12. And then you can keep going. Log 3 base 12 is K. So this is 1 over 2K. And then this is log 8 base 12. Right? But the problem is, if I do it like this, I will get stuck, because log 8 base 12, I can't change to, even though it's same base already, but 8 and 3 has no connection. Okay, 8 and 3 has no connection. And also I shouldn't think like this. It should be 8. And if 8 and 3 has no connection, but we still can try to see whether 8 and 12 have any connection. But don't have, because 8 and 12 can't change to same base. Doesn't matter. You get end up with ugly answer. So what I will do now is, okay, let's think about this. Okay, maybe we can do this because divide 1 over 2, right? And we all know divide 1 over 2 means times 2. Okay, means I'll bring the 1 over 2, I can bring the 1 over 2 up atas, and then it will be times 2. And then 2 can bring to the back, so it becomes log base 12, 64 like this. Okay. So now the problem is I want my answer in terms of k, but I stuck here already, log 64 base 12. So what I have to do now? I have to think about what number give me 64. Okay. So we have base 3, base 8, base 12. Okay. 3 power 0 is 1, 3 power 1 is 3, 3 power 2 is 9, 3 power 3 is 27, and so on. 8 power 0 is 1, 8 power 1 is 8, 8 power 2 is 64, 8 power 3 is 512, and so on. 12 power 0 is 1, 12 power 1 is 12, 12 power 2 is 144, 12 power 3 is 12 power 3. Okay, 1728. And then keep going. So if I want to get 64, what I will do? Okay, let's think. Okay, I can actually take this one and this one. Because if I take 1728 divide 27, if you press calculator, you will get 64, right? But it took me so long to figure this out. When I'm doing this by myself, it took me like half an hour, half an hour to figure this out, because like, of course now I just do it in a few minutes lah, because I already do it just now. That's why I know the answers quickly. That's why I don't like this method. That's why later I will show you the other method. But I will do it now first lah. So 1728 is actually 12 power 3, right? So we can say that this is 12 power 3 divided by 3 power 3 to get 64. But don't worry, I will explain using a better method later. But this is how I was doing it just now when I'm doing it by myself. So let's erase all this. So since I know it's like this already, then I can write, because this is single log divide. So single log divide can change to separate log minus. So it'll be what minus what? It will be 3 log 12 12 minus. Why minus? Because divide divide what? 3 log 3 base 12. Okay, the 3 come from the power. The 3 comes from power. And then now the log 12 can cut become 1. So it's just 3 minus 3, and then log 3 12 is k, right? Over k. So that's the answer. Okay. But I really want to explain using other method, so I will do it here. So there's actually a better way to doing it. But when I first do it, this is how I do it. And I spend like half an hour to do it. But then since I'm doing the video, I try to think about any other better way to do it. And I found out there's actually a better way to do it. So log 3 base 12 equals to k, right? And then log 3 base, they want you to solve for log 8 base square root 3. Log 8 base square root 3. Okay, so what is the better method? You will change everything to base 3. It means you will change this to base 3. Instead of changing it to base 12 like just now, you will change to base 3. So this is the better way. Log base 3, log base 3. Atas will be 8, power will be square root 3. And then square root is actually power 1 over 2, right? It means log 3, 3, power 1 over 2. But the power 1 over 2 can put in front, so you just left with 1 over 2. And then log 8, 3, you get stuck already, right? So what you do? You just leave it lah. Okay. Okay, actually you can make it to smaller base, because 8 can change to smaller base, right? 2 power 3. It means you make everything to the smallest base lah. So 2 power 3 is 8, and then power can letak in front. So now you will end up with 3 log 2, 3, right? But then when you divide 1 over 2, it means you times 2. It means it's actually 2 times 3, which is 6 log 3, 2, which is 2 power 6, which is log 64 base 3. And then I will go to the other equation, and then I will also change this to base 3. And then I will try to find log 64 base 3 from here. Okay. It's possible. It's possible. I will show you. So log punya number letak atas, and then log punya base 12 letak bawah. And then we all know log 3 is 1, right? And then I know these two things can terbalik, right? Because bahagi jadi darab jadi. So 1 over k equals to this one switch up, become log 3 12, right? But I want to simplify further, because walaupun 12 cannot change to smaller base, I know 12 is 4 times 3, right? Which is 2 square times 3, right? And then I can change to single log times separate log plus, which is 2 log 3 2 plus log 3 3. And we all know log 3 3 is 1, right? It means 1 over k equals to 2. Okay, no. It should be minus 1 lah. Because this whole thing become 1 already, right? So plus 1 move to the other side become minus 1 equals to low log 2 base 3. It means log 2 base 3 equals to what? 1 over k minus 1 divide 2 means 1 over 2k minus 1 over 2. And now we can use this to solve this, because this is log 64 base 3, right? And we all know 64 is actually what? It's actually 2 power 6. And then the 6 I can letak depan. And then now it will be 6 log 2 base 3, which I can ganti with this lah. 1 over 2k minus 1 over 2. So it will be 3 over k minus 3. Okay, so this is the answer. Or you want to change to single fraction also can. 3 minus 3k over k. Okay, is it the same answer? Yeah, it's the same, right? So yeah, you can do it like this also. But why I say I prefer like this? Because if I'm doing this method, I don't have to guess. That's why I like it this method. Can you see I straight away get the answer? I never guess. But for this method, you have to guess one by one, you know. And if your CFA very lemah, it's like lagi susah, because for 64, for me to know 64 how to get this, it took me like a very long time. Okay, like okay, but I do it very fast this time because I already know the answer lah. Okay, so I would prefer like doing this way. But both method works. Okay, so I just show you both method lah. Okay, now let's go to the last question. Let's do it here. So okay, let's make this smaller because I need more space. So wait for me. Okay, so make this smaller. Okay, wait. Okay, smaller. Okay, that's okay, so draw a line here. Okay, done. Okay, a group of scientists in Hokkien City discovered an odd organism that reproduced following this equation. So we all know ln is actually log base e. So log base e bracket x over e kuasa 2 equals to t minus 3. Ln is log base e, so just write this. And remember, the E is actually a number. It's 2 point something. Okay, and then they say such that X is the number of resulting cells and T is the reproductive time in hours. X represents what? Number of cells. And then T represents what? Time in hours. Okay, and then they says after 10 hours, express the number of resulting in terms of E. It means they don't want you to tekan the E. They want your answer to have the E. So don't tekan the E later lah. And then 10 hours means I will ganti the T with 10 lah. So it will be 10 minus 3 log base E and then X, right? And then later I have to find X because they say express number of cell means we are making X the subject later. And then what about the left hand side? Well, this is single log divide, so we can change to separate log minus. So log X base E minus, why minus? Because divide. And then log EE kuasa 2, log EE kuasa 2, and kuasa can letak depan. And we all know log EE can cut because log E base E is 1, right? But don't forget, I'm trying to find X, the subject. So we can say that this is log EX. What I will do is I will pinna the minus 3 become plus 3 log X base E equals to 10, and then minus 2 pinna jadi plus 2. Why I pinna like this? Because I saw that these both terms, they have log X base E. It means I can jadikan this sebagai A sementara. Means it will be like A plus 3A. Okay, you faham? So it's like A plus 3A. So what is A plus 3A? 4A, but don't write 4A lah. It will write log 4 log X base E. Okay, so log X base E plus 3 log X base E is 4 log X base E, and 10 plus 2 is 12. And then log X base E equals to 12 divided 4, which is 3, and then X equals to log punya base hantar jadi number punya base. So that's the answer. Don't tekan this because they already say in terms of E. So finally, we are done. Okay, bye bye.